look like I got it all together. Lying to myself like I'm down for whatever. Time to put up walls cause I'm catching feelings. Afraid to get hurt, what I need is some healing. Where are you? Are you hiding? How dare you? I barely surviving. I'm amid and I've been playing games. Tired of the same old same, but I need you now. Where have you been? I'm just looking for love. Looking for love. I'm looking for love.
Chapter 5. It had been a few weeks since Hadassah had that horrible nightmare encounter with that spiritual being resembling a large man, or giant. However, thank the gods, it had not happened since that night. She worked hard to convince herself that it was just a horrible dream and nothing strange happened that night. Hadassah told herself that she had hallucinated it all due to the emotional distress from that evening. The phone rang loudly, interrupting her thoughts. It was her best friend Mariah Anderson, affectionately known as Kitty. Hadassah picked up her cell.
What's up, Kitty? I'm almost done getting ready.
Kitty responded quickly. We have a slight change of plans. Kitty paused.
Okay.
Hadassah replied, looking puzzled as she fixed her makeup in the bathroom mirror. Hadassah, I know we were planning to drive separately and meet at the VIP lounge tonight. Corey just called. We decided he's going to swing by to pick me up first. Then we will come scoop you up. Hadassah was slightly irritated. Corey and Kitty had an interesting and unhealthy relationship since they began puberty. Although Corey was Hadassah's big brother and they were extremely close, she despised the way he treated Kitty at times. Usually, all he had to do was whisper sweet words of nothing into Kitty's ears, and she would become enchanted, forgiving him. However, it was extremely ironic that when it came to other men Kitty dated in the past, she did not tolerate foolishness.
Kitty, I'm tired of seeing you allow Corey.
Kitty interrupted Hadassah's speech before she could finish giving her input. I know what you're going to say, Dasa. I know you are my bestest friend in the world and we share a sisterly bond. But Corey came over to my parents' house last night to have dinner with us once he arrived in Atlanta. Afterwards, he apologized and we had a lengthy, serious talk. Hadassah rolled her eyes as she listened to Kitty justify Corey's actions. Hadassah cherished Kitty's friendship with every fiber of her being. They attended middle and high school together. In addition, they danced on the drill team and graduated from Georgia State University together. They made a pact during childhood that they would never let a man come between their friendship. However, that was years before Kitty lost her virginity during prom night to Corey. To be fair, Corey did seem to love Kitty at times. Kitty was still chattering away on the other line as Hadassah returned to the present. Hadassah sighed. She had way too much going on in her life with Troy, Brady, and Mama to be worried about her best friend and brother's dysfunctional relationship. Hadassah refused to allow Corey and Kitty's to further stress her out.
Kitty, I'll be ready whenever y'all come.
She placed her phone on the charger. Hadassah walked into her gigantic walk-in closet, stuffed with clothes and shelves filled with shoes and designer purses. Hadassah planned to find something cute and comfy to wear tonight. It was not like she was trying to impress a man.
I already have enough drama with 2 men in my life.
It was officially summer in the ATL. The weather felt amazing. She grabbed a pair of booty shorts, a cute designer belly shirt, and some stilettos. Hadassah began styling her thick and coily hair into an updo. The lounge could become extremely hot when it was packed like sardines. Hadassah looked herself over one more time in the mirror hanging on the closet door and departed to the living room to wait for their arrival. The doorbell rang. Hadassah walked quickly to the door and peeped through the tiny hole. She spotted Kitty standing in front of the door, alone. Kitty was beautiful in an exotic way. Her skin was the color of a cardboard box. Her long, relaxed hair flowed down her back. In addition, she had a killer figure, a pretty face, and a soft heart. She could see why Corey preferred her over the other females. Kitty was dressed in a short, tight, revealing dress, gold accessories, completed with platforms. Hadassah opened the door with a big smile and greeted Kitty with a gigantic hug. Although she was annoyed with Kitty, she was filled with happiness to see her best friend. They were used to seeing each other daily during the school year as youth, and they were roommates the last 2 years of college. "Hey, gorgeous," Kitty said as she smiled at Hadassah and kissed her cheek. Hadassah quickly grabbed her purse from the hallway closet, locked the door, and together they walked towards the elevator. "Hadassah, I want you to keep an open mind tonight." Kitty looked at Hadassah with a mischievous grin.
Kitty, what are you talking about?
Hadassah playfully demanded. Kitty was a loyal friend, but sometimes she made mischievous decisions that have gotten them both in sticky situations. "Don't you worry your pretty little head. Just know tonight we are gonna have some fun." Hadassah rolled her eyes dramatically as they walked out of the elevator towards the front entrance of her building. Hadassah and Kitty departed the historical building and stepped into darkness. It was a beautiful night, with clear skies and a full moon appeared. Instantly, she spotted Corey's luxurious BMW parked on the side of the building. The windows were tinted, hindering her from seeing inside. Corey rolled down his window as they approached his vehicle. "Hey, little sis. Long time no see." Corey smiled. He was extremely handsome, and boy did he know it. He was their father's younger clone. Females went crazy over Corey. Kitty climbed into the front seat. Hadassah greeted Corey with a quick kiss on the cheek. She turned around, opened the door, and sat down in the back seat. Hadassah gasped loudly. Kitty began giggling in the front seat. Hadassah suddenly recalled Kitty's words in her thoughts concerning having an open mind for tonight.
I'm going to kill her.
Hadassah frowned.
She knows exactly what she's doing.
"Hey, Hadassah." Troy turned to greet Hadassah nonchalantly from the opposite side of Corey's BMW. He looked so handsome. However, Hadassah responded with a quick greeting as she buckled the seatbelt. Corey began driving to their destination. Corey and Kitty conversed quietly among themselves, while ignoring the obvious tension between Troy and Hadassah. Approximately 20 minutes later, they arrived in front of the VIP lounge. It was packed, with a long line that hugged the huge 7-story building. Thank goodness they did not have to suffer by waiting in that line. Those with wealth or connections were catered to and prioritized. No expenses were spared. The top 3 floors were reserved for the powerful, wealthy, and influential in Atlanta. A valet opened the driver's door and politely greeted them as Corey stepped out. One private floor was a massage parlor. However, Hadassah heard rumors that the massage parlor was a disguise. It was an upscale brothel. In addition, there was a private floor for those who wanted to mingle with the same-sex and swingers. Hadassah heard from a coworker about massive orgies that took place there and that celebrities and politicians flew in from other states to participate in these orgies. However, Hadassah did not know anyone personally who frequented those 2 floors. Troy opened Hadassah's door and reached out his hand. It was apparent he was raised to be a gentleman by Mayor and Mrs. King. Hesitantly, she took Troy's hand. Hadassah felt a bolt of awareness travel through her body at his touch as she exited Corey's car.
Thank you, Troy.
He nodded as he placed her hand in the crook of his arm. They followed behind Corey and Kitty into the private entrance of the VIP lounge. They exited the elevator into a luxurious, elegant, and private lounge. The lights were dimmed, music, laughter, and chatter filled the large room. A local band performed on the stage, couples were getting their groove on the dance floor, and the bar was occupied. Hadassah saw several familiar faces. She greeted people with hugs or gave a quick wave, as she followed Corey, Kitty, and Troy to their private section.
Hey, Troy, sweetie, how have you been?
A beautiful woman dressed in a provocative dress appeared. Hadassah instantly felt jealousy rise within her. Hey, I'm good. Troy stopped to converse while still having Hadassah on his arm. I've missed seeing you, the woman purred as she wiggled her hips. Troy appeared unaffected by the woman's words or stunning figure. Hadassah, do you remember Tasha? She used to hang out with Jessica Peterson. Troy turned to face Hadassah. Suddenly, Hadassah remembered the lady Tasha. She was a few years older than her crew and an unashamed homewrecker. Apparently, Tasha had had multiple surgeries since Hadassah last seen her. It was obvious she had her breasts, butt, lips, and nose done. Tasha was practically a new woman, looking like she belonged on BET. Hadassah giggled quietly.
Hey, Tasha. It's good to see you.
Hadassah forced a smile on her face. Tasha purposely ignored Hadassah. Troy, I missed you. Be sure to save me a dance. Hadassah rolled her eyes when Tasha glanced at her. Tasha smirked and walked off, swaying her hips. Troy paid Tasha no attention as she departed. However, Hadassah hardened her heart against Troy. This was a quick reminder that although Troy had been a gentleman, she would not be foolish enough to fall for his charm. Surprisingly, the night was going well. They were all sitting at the table, chatting about old times, sipping on their drinks, and eating delicious hot wings. Suddenly, Juveniles, Back That Thing Up, start playing through the speakers. Corey and Kitty jumped from their seats and ran to the dance floor like loved sick teenagers. Troy and Hadassah looked at each other and burst out with laughter. Hadassah spotted them tearing up the dance floor. Those two could not keep their hands off each other. Hadassah genuinely wanted to be happy for her brother and Kitty. They were a beautiful couple. It was no secret that Kitty expressed numerous times a desire to marry Corey. Suddenly, Hadassah felt awkward as she realized they were alone. However, Troy appeared calm as he sipped a margarita and watched couples dance in front of the stage.
He's too fine for his own good.
Hadassah thought as she stood up.
Troy, I'll be back. I'm going to the ladies' room.
He responded with a nod. She quickly walked away. Hadassah scolded herself for allowing herself to become out of sorts because of his presence. Hadassah walked into the ladies' room. It was an elegant bathroom with high-end finishes. There were beautiful flowers and paintings that decorated the wall. The aroma of the vanilla candles created a peaceful atmosphere. Hadassah heard two ladies talking loudly and giggling in a stall. Girl, I can't wait to get my hands on him. He acts like he isn't interested, but it's only a matter of time. Hadassah recognized Tasha's voice. Didn't he come here tonight with that girl who co-hosts Z103 Gossip Girls on his arms? The other woman interrupted. Yes, I don't see what he sees in that petite girl with them slanted eyes. She lacks the womanly curves that I possess. She ain't got nothing on me, Tasha laughed. I doubt that she knows how to please him the way I could. He's probably only interested in her family's influence in Atlanta, Tasha stated matter-of-factly. What's her name? Hadassah, Tasha replied in disgust. Hadassah was boiling with anger as she fixed her hair in the mirror. She was no drama queen. However, her parents did not raise them to be cowards. Hadassah decided that she would give that hussy a piece of her mind. As Hadassah opened her mouth to speak, Kitty burst inside the door with a concerned expression. Hadassah, when I saw you were gone from the table, I thought something happened. Kitty went from remorseful to confusion when she noticed the angry expression on Hadassah's face. Did Troy say something? I'm so sorry, Dasa. I shouldn't have been trying to play matchmaker. Suddenly, Kitty was interrupted from the sounds of doors being unlocked. Tasha and her friend walked out of their stall looking guilty. Hadassah put her hand up quickly to hush Kitty. Hadassah pointed her finger at Tasha dramatically.
Tasha, and whoever your friend is, y'all better keep my name out of your mouths.
Honey, you ain't nothing but a home wrecker, used up freak with a fake body. You ain't got nothing on me, and you never will, boo. Troy and our relationship status ain't none of your business.
Tasha's face was filled with shock. Tasha's friend's mouth stood wide open. Tasha was light-skinned, her face turned into the color of a tomato. However, Tasha tried to show off in front of her friend and prove that she was unbothered. She walked up closely to Hadassah. "Little girl, I always get what I want. Mark my words. Troy King will be in my bed soon." Hadassah was about to slap Tasha. Kitty rushed to grab Hadassah's hand and quickly separated the two. "Tasha, you need to get yourself a life," Kitty said angrily. Tasha quickly came to her senses. She knew that it was not wise to become an enemy of the Jackson family. Tasha turned around, signaled her friend to leave, and they exited the bathroom silently. Hadassah and Kitty returned to their table as Corey and Troy ended a deep discussion. "What's wrong with y'all?" Corey asked as he stood up aggressively. "Do I need to go hurt somebody?" Corey could be the class clown at times. However, he did not play when it came to those he loved. He was very protective, like Daddy, and had years of training in martial arts and boxing. Kitty put her hand gently on Corey's arm. "We took care of it, babe. I do think we should call it a night." Hadassah did not feel like explaining what happened. She just wanted to go home. She was grateful for the bond that Kitty and her shared. The car was quiet as they pulled in the front of her building. Hadassah said her goodbyes as she stepped out of Corey's BMW. "Hold on, Hadassah. I'll walk you up," Troy stated as he opened the door. She wanted to tell him no. However, she knew how protective her brothers and Troy could be, especially at night. Hadassah sighed as she waited for him on the sidewalk. They both entered the building quietly and stepped into the elevator. Neither mumbled a word. Hadassah could not wait to be home and away from Troy. He did not necessarily do anything wrong. It was his reputation and the feelings of desiring him that bothered Hadassah. What if Tasha was right? Could she have Troy in her bed if she desired? Hadassah went back and forth in her mind. She wanted this night to be over. However, her thoughts began condemning her. She was sort of being unfair to Troy. Although he had a bad reputation, he had always been honest and upfront with her. Tonight, Tasha was practically trying to serve her body to him on a platter, and Troy was unbothered. Hadassah bit the bottom of her lip as Troy escorted her to the loft. He was extremely quiet and seemed serious as they walked to the front door.
Troy.
She grabbed his arm and looked him in the face. Hadassah stammered.
I'm sorry about how I handled the situation that night with you at Daddy's party.
Troy looked down at her with an unreadable expression. Hadassah kept talking before she lost the guts to explain.
I don't regret how I felt, but I wasn't fair to you. You began showing me a side of you.
Troy reached down and gently put his finger on her lips to silence her. Hadassah, I ain't gonna lie to you. It hurt a brother's pride when you thought I wasn't capable of giving you more. And the fact that you think I want you only as eye candy and that I lack the ability to be a faithful husband. Although I was heated. I can't get fully mad that you were scared to give me a chance. Hadassah was shocked at Troy's confession and transparency. The expression on his face was genuine. Vulnerability became written all over Hadassah's face. Before Hadassah returned to her senses, she reached up and pulled Troy's face down to hers. Their lips ignited with an intense passion. 10 minutes had passed. Troy pulled back. I better go, Dassa. Corey and Kitty are waiting on me. He gave her a quick kiss on the forehead and swaggered off to the elevator. Hadassah walked into her loft. She put her keys and purse down on the kitchen counter. She could not believe that she forgave Troy. She must be crazy for taking the initiative to kiss him. Hadassah wanted to be mad for her actions. However, she had no regrets. That kiss that Troy gave expressed feelings that ran deeper than she thought. He stirred something inside of her that ran deeper than lust. Hadassah realized she needed to use the bathroom. She ran quickly down the hallway. After flushing the toilet, as Hadassah scrubbed her hands with soap, she noticed through the mirror that her lips were swollen from Troy's kiss. Hadassah smiled to herself like a lovesick teenager. She changed quickly into a little nightgown and walked to the kitchen to grab a snack. Suddenly, Hadassah heard a knock on the door.
Who can that be? It's probably Kitty.
She thought to herself as she looked through the peephole. Hadassah gasped when she realized who it was. She opened the door. Dassa, when I went back outside, Corey was gone. Troy shook his head. He sent me this text message. Troy stepped closely and showed her Corey's message on his phone. Hadassah read Corey's text out loud.
Bro, you took too long. Kitty. And I figured y'all was making up.
Troy looked up at Hadassah with a questionable expression. Hadassah responded with stepping to the side and allowed Troy to enter her loft.
Girl, Troy pinned our girl against that wall. And,
And they were lip wrestling.
they were doing a whole lot more than lip wrestling. We haven't even seen the other guy yet. What's his name now? Brady?
Yep, Brady. Poor Brady doesn't stand a chance against Troy's smooth chocolate charm.
I don't know now. We'll just have to wait and see. I like Kitty, though. She's such a cutie pie.
Yeah, she's such a good friend to Hadassah. Not unlike someone I know.
Aw, thank you, girl. You know I got your back like the trunk in a Cadillac.
Speaking of cars, Corey's car is nice. Andy's cute too.
Mm-hmm.
What? He's fine. And Hadassah don't play. She put Tasha in her place.
Yeah, girl. I thought she was about to beat her up.
And Corey was ready to knuckle up too. This was a good episode.
Yeah, it was so worth the wait. I want to see the next one right now. Now we have to wait until next week.
Yeah, well, at least it was decently long. Last week seemed way too short. I love this series.
Before we go, can I just say how cute Kitty is?
Yes, you may.
Eek! She's so cute! With her hair and her clear skin and her cute little shape and her dress and her sweet little kind heart. I love her.
You know what I love?
What, girl?
Hadassah's closet.
Not with that monster from episode 3 living in it. Don't forget to like the video. It helps a lot.
And if you want to help even more, subscribe.
We hang out every week. Hit that bell so you'll be notified when we drop the next episode.
See you later.
I know that I look like I got it all together, lying to myself like I'm down for whatever. Time to put up walls cause I'm catching feelings, afraid to get hurt. What I need is some healing. Where are you?